Okay, it's a beautiful day here at Maple Canyon, and I am going to show you the Zart method for cleaning a sport route. First thing I'm going to do is anchor myself to the rock using my personal anchoring system. I'm going to put that directly into the chains. Okay, then I'm going to ask my belayer for some slack so I can make sure that I'm anchored properly. Judith, can I have some slack? Okay, now that I see I'm anchored securely directly to the chains. Okay, Judith, I'm in direct, so you can take me all the way off belay. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is clean up these two quick draws. And then I'm going to take up a couple arm lengths of rope here, and I'm going to tie an overhand on a bite and just clip it into anything on my harness that's convenient. The reason I'm doing this is so that when I untie my harness knot, I can't possibly lose that rope. Thank you. Now I'm going to untie my harness knot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread this directly through the bottom link in the chains. Once I get it through the bottom link in the chains, I'm going to tie a stopper knot at the bottom. This again will make sure that I can't possibly lose this rope after I untie that overhand on a bite that I just made. Okay, so now I'm going to unclip that, untie this, and now I'm going to feed the rope. I'm going to feed this end of the rope all the way to the ground because I'm getting ready to do a double rope rappel to the bottom. The reason that I'm going to do a double rope rappel is because that way I can lower myself down and clean all the quick draws off of the route without lowering without having myself lowered through the chains, which puts undue wear and tear on the chains, which is bad for whoever comes along after me. Okay, now what I'm going to do, that I have both ends of the rope on the ground, is I'm going to rig up my rappel device. I clipped it right onto my belay loop. Okay, a good thing to know about rigging your rappel device so that you don't risk dropping it and losing anything is that if you pull that loop through the belay device far enough, I can clip my carabiner onto it without actually ever taking the carabiner off of my rappel device. So I don't want to lose that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab hold of the chains and pull my weight off of the rope a little bit so that I can snug it up nice and tight. And after I've done that, I can see that this is now slack, and I can triple check to make sure that all of my weight is on my rappel rope and that everything's rigged properly. After I've done that, I'm going to do a quick leg wrap. I'm going to do about 3 loops all the way up around my thigh. That way I can sit here with no hands on this on my rappel rope and not worry about accidentally dropping my brake hand and going plunging to the bottom. Okay, now I can take off my anchor system and get it out of the way. Then, normal protocol for this would be to rig up an auto block from my leg loop onto the brake hand of my rope, just in case I was to lose my brake hand. Again, I don't want to go plunging to the bottom. But an alternative to that that's a little easier is to ask somebody at the bottom for a fireman belay. So, hey, could I get a fireman belay down there? Thank you. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to just make sure everything's in order, and I'm going to start rappelling down. A lot of drag on this rope. I'm having to kind of shove it through the belay device. Okay, then on the way down, I'm just going to collect my draws. And what I usually do when I am collecting draws is I like to take the bolt end off first, clip it onto my harness, and then clip it off of the rope, or unclip it from the rope. Just because that way the quick draw is always attached to something and there's not much of a chance of me dropping it on somebody's head down below. Okay, I got it, Judith. Thank you. Okay, and that is how to clean a sport route.